Hey, what's up? I'm Nachtraf. Today I'm gonna be giving a few tips about the Zone 96 mixer. Actually, most of these tips and tricks will also translate to the 92. I'll try to indicate which do and which don't. So first things first, I got a bunch of notes. Let's see. Oh, yes. So what you want to do when playing, it is the best practice to have slightly tapping the channel VU to about +0. This will give the best audio. Um, and on the master, it is about +3, +6. Uh, let's see what else do we got. Right. So when engaging the filter, and this is actually something that's exclusive on the Zone 92, as well, it doesn't actually have a beat, but imagine that it had a beat. If you just push it on the beat, because the 92 has a audible pop, then every time you engage the filter and disengage the filter, it will give like a slight pop. Uh, Best to do it on a beat, so you'll like just mask it basically. Also, additionally, when you do engage the filter, and I don't think it will translate well, yeah, through the speakers now, but there will always be a little bit more of low end in there. So especially if you just engage the, well, yeah, you can probably hear it on camera, but it does exist, which is good or bad depending. A lot of people on the 92 especially, they leave the filter just engaged, no matter what. Another thing, so you got the high pass, band pass, and low pass filter. But what you can also do is just two of them at the same time. So either which combination. Actually, I prefer when using a filter, and I'll turn up a little bit. When I use the high pass filter, I tend to not use as much resonance. When I use the high pass and band pass filter together, I usually set it to about 1, 2 o'clock, and then you get the nice zone filter resonance. As for the low pass filter, if I just engage the low pass filter, I kind of really like to use the full resonance, because it sort of like really builds up. As for yeah, if you can hear the difference. Let's see what else do I got. More notes. I usually don't actually make notes, but in this case, I figured like be handy. Ah, yes, the return channels. So, one of the things when you use effects units, for example, if you use delay, one of the best things you can do is just turn down the low. You don't really want to have the bass rumble like over and over itself, and especially if the delay is not like completely on beat quantized and whatever, it can like start to drift from the track. So I generally just leave the low EQ just off, just so it doesn't really, yeah, just the beats will stay in sync and all that kind of shit. Um, Another thing about the returns. So if I'm sending something to A, in this case my boss Der Echo, there is an option to send. Turn this a little bit down. There's an option to send the returns to the sends. So I can actually I'm sending channel 2 to return A, but I can return A to A again. So that creates a feedback loop. So do not use this unless you're absolutely sure what you're doing. Because yeah, if you do it wrong, then you'll just like create this, loud resonance feedback loop, which is not pleasurable at all. So just be very, very sure that you know what you're doing. At the same time, you can also send it back to send A to B, and I'll just demonstrate it. Turn it a little bit like this, but then I can also send B back to A, which then in turn also creates a feedback loop. So be very sure. If you're not completely 100% sure, just don't touch it. Or just do it at home, just practice. And in general, I don't really use it, and I've been using this mixer for 4 years now. Yeah, I mean, just be sure to know what you're doing. Also, one of the things is which I really enjoy about the Zone 96 is the option to individually um, put on all the Q stuff. Oh, that one doesn't engage right now. But if you don't want to have that, you can hold LPF or bandpass or high pass, and here it starts to filter. I mean, it starts to blink, and then it only engages the individual channel. And if I hold down these filters again, 3 seconds later, and now I can just do everything at the same time. So, let's see if I got other notes. So another thing that you can do, there's a mini innovator in the mixer. You can actually loosen the front panel of this, and you can tighten or loosen the crossfader if you use that. And the last tip is gonna be channel A, return A and B have a send option A and B, as you know the top ones go. What I do for return C and D is I use the Q2 system, so I can send individual channels or the complete master to it. So yeah, that's so this one goes to C, I believe, and this one goes to D, or vice versa. Doesn't really matter, but yeah, these are like the tips I can give you at this very moment. So if you know any more tips and tricks, let me know. I am very interested. So, bye.